Hello everybody and welcome to the final qualifying session of Season 2. We are back once again in Abu Dhabi because we would have the final race not anywhere else. That didn't really make sense, but you get what I mean. But yes, here we go. We are back and hopefully in for a great race today. But we're just going to pull up all the data, then we're going to see who is coming out. And you may see that we don't have Ritfit today, but we do have Evan, and that's because Ritfik sadly couldn't make the race, but we pulled in the McLaren reserve driver for this race. Yes, no Ritfik's AI today. We have the McLaren reserve driver of Evan coming in today to fill that spot for Ritfik and see what he can do. But who knows, potentially can he get points for the team? Can he lift them higher within the constructors and potentially beat Ferrari? That's surely the question. Whether they can or not, I'm not too sure about. But what is, of course, the topic of discussion today is, of course, our two first place championship contenders, which is, of course, Harry, and then you have on the other side Carl, who are separated by a 16-point gap today. So really, whoever wins, as long as the other person gets third place, takes that win. I mean, even if Carl wins, he wins. But if Harry wins and Carl gets third place, then he has won. I'm pretty sure anyway, because it's a 16-point gap. Carl only received 15 points, whilst Harry receives 25. So, you know, I'm pretty sure if my maths is correct me if I'm not, but if my maths is correct, then that does mean that Harry will take the first place for championship for the first ever time. But we look back to last season, of course, when Harry was not in the race for first place. No, he was in the race for second place, and what a time it was. Of course, sadly, he did DNF and Callum did take that second place. Can he find redemption here today in taking that first place against Carl? That will be the question that we're all wondering, to be fair. But who knows? Of course, this race, as you all know, is the full qualifying, full race day, so it's definitely going to be a interesting one, that's for sure. We are here in Q1, so let's see what our drivers can pull out the bag, shall we? And let's see what times they can set to show what they can really do around this track, because that's what we're all wondering, I'm hoping anyway. But yes, here we go now. You've got Evan coming out already for the first time ever in our league. Potential Season 3 driver. Potential. You're just going to have to stick around to find out. We'll definitely give you updates throughout, well, if there's a gap between Season 2 and Season 3. I'm still working the details out, but if all goes to plan, there shouldn't be much of a gap, if any, between Season 2 and Season 3. So you're going to want to stick around, that's for sure. But yeah, Evan is out. You have Harry now on his time lapse, so we're going to just watch him here. Nicely, not too quickly, goes on the inside of that bend there, and yes, I do keep saying that bend. I need to learn the names of the corners, of course, but that's all in good time, I would say. He does have the Ferrari of not Callum, Preston behind him, so Preston will be following Harry just very nicely there. But now Harry's coming round nicely onto the straight. Here we go, using that DRS to get up the maximum of that Honda engine. And if I'm, yep, Honda, just had to remember that it's no longer Renault, and that contract got expired in 2020. So if you didn't know that, there's an F1 fact for you. But here we go now, round, here we go. Callum says fastest lap of the of qualifying so far with a 138.474, taking that P1 spot. Nicely done by Callum there. Just wait until the others get in and set a time. I really do hope to see. But however, Carl is here setting a 142.199. That's not as quick as we know he can do. Is it just him kind of just making sure he's getting into those Q2 and Q3, and then as soon as he's in Q3, can't speak, he will actually go pedal to metal and set his best time? Who knows? I'm sure we're all wondering here. But Harry has now taken that P1 spot with a 138.067. Preston has just gone behind his teammate Callum, taking that P3 spot with a 138.576. So well done to Preston, absolutely well done to Harry on that time. Is that the fastest he can go today? I'm sure we're all wondering that. But yes, it's definitely going to be a very interesting race day. Evan is, of course... Oh! Evan takes a P4 with a 139.451 here. He is... Jamie's just beaten by Evan because Jamie is taking a 139.649 here, taking that P5 spot just behind Evan there. And I believe, yes, Carl is now in P12. Can he improve his time? Potentially. Well, that's what we're all hoping to see. We want to see that competition between Harry and Carl. We don't just want to see a basic race between those two where they fall behind each other or something. We want to see those two compete today for this championship, but who knows what's going to happen here today. And Carl sets 138.789 and takes that P4 spot from Evan here today. So nice work there by Carl, I must say. I'm trying to I know I am shouting, but I'm not trying to shout as much as I normally do. I think I'm quite loud normally on these recent F1 vids, because like 2.5-hour video, my voice is going to be gone, let's be honest. So you know, trying to restrain myself a bit from shouting too much until the race, of course. That's when we go full ham. But in qualifying, we take it a bit easy, of course. But now Carl using that DRS up the straight, potentially going on the inside. Nicely done there, I must say. And around here we go, using that DRS on the straight once again. Here we are now. What can Carl potentially get a better time than Harry here? Will he take that pole position, or is he just looking to, as I said before, secure himself into Q2 and then the same into Q3? That is the question. I'm sure we're about to find out. But 10 minutes and 40 seconds left here of Q1, so we are approaching the end stages very soon here. Carl is the only one out on track currently. The rest have set their times, gone in to make sure they don't get too much tyre wear, and so they don't have to use too many tyre sets, and they can save some for the race potentially. But yes, there we go. The last driver now going into pits. That is Carl going into pits here. And we shall now wait until more of the drivers come out, because there's no point focusing on the AIs, let's be honest. So we'll be right back with you once more of the drivers potentially come out, whether it's for this qualifying session or the start of Q2. Who knows? Here we go now with Jamie. He's just come back out here on his outlap. I'm not sure whether he's potentially looking to set better times here. Potentially beat the AI of Yuki Tsunoda, who has taken that P5 spot from Evan. And of course, knocking down Evan. I wish I could speak. Knocking down Evan has knocked down Jamie to P7. So potentially looking to beat Evan and Yuki here. Who knows? But we shall find out in a minute, I'm very sure. But now on his outlap, as I said, what can Jamie do here today? I mean, he's not really in contention for anything, I don't think. But we did see him last time in Abu Dhabi. It was one of his best races. Can he really turn up to this race once again and show what he's capable of? That's definitely going to be the interesting question. But and I'm sure we're all looking forward. We're all looking forward to finding out here. Once again, still can't speak. But here we go now with Jamie on his time lap. What can he do on this time lap? Let's find out. Nicely round that corner, even though I didn't really see it. It's more of a bend than a corner, let's be honest. But nicely keeping that speed throughout the bends here. And on to sector 2 here. Yes, that is a purple sector 1 with a 17 point something. I didn't read that fast enough. Probably should get it up here. Can we actually? I don't know. Can we get can we get sectors up? I don't think you can. So very unfortunately not being able to get up the sectors here, but no matter. Jamie is now using his DRS down the main straight here, round this bend nicely on the inside and on the inside of that corner as well. Nicely done. About to get the DRS again, and he does. Nicely taken the amount of power he can get out of that Mercedes engine. Yes, I still believe it's a Mercedes engine because we're recording this before you lot have corrected me, alright? That's a purple sector 2. That's 2 purple sectors. No. I think he spun out. He was on such a great lap. And I generally think he spun out here. Very unlucky for Jamie if he did. I didn't really see it, but from the way the time is going up, I think that is a confirmation that unfortunately he did spin out, because we're reaching the 130s and he's not really anywhere near finishing his time lap here. So yeah, that is very, very unfortunate there, especially after the 2 purple sectors. He was looking to be on a great lap if he could just really push through for the final sector, but will he get those 2 purple sectors again? Potentially a 3rd purple sector here. It's definitely going to be very interesting. Of course, we like the wreckage as well. Wreckage of signs. That's exactly where Harry DNF'd there last season. If you remember that, he went over bumps, his car slipped out, and it hit the wall. So Jamie's definitely going to have to be very careful going over those bumps again this season, and seeing if he can do what Harry could not last season in surviving those bumps. That's going to be the interesting question that we all want to find out. I keep saying that, don't I? Oh yeah, it's a very interesting question. We all want to find out. But anyway, nicely on the inside of that corner to this corner as well. Round the chicane very nicely. And on to the straight. Here we go, using the DRS. Here we are with Jamie now. What can he pull out the bag? I don't think he got a purple sector 1, very unfortunately. That is a purple sector 2 though. Round this chicane nicely. I was just about to say that before he's even gone round the chicane. So I thought I may as well hold my back. But here we go now. Round the bend nicely. And onto here nicely as well. On the inside of that bend. Yes, he is. Now round on the inside of this corner as well. Nicely done. Onto the straight. The mini straight. Here we go now. Round the bend very nicely. Round the final corner. No, not round final corner. He did get a purple sector 2, but he's not answering that purple sector 2. In fact, he's going into the pits. I'm not sure why. He was on for another great lap here, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but generally he was on for a great lap here. So I'm not exactly sure what's happened here, but who knows what's going on in the mindset of Jamie. But now all drivers have gone back into pits, so we shall talk to you again very, very soon, potentially when one of the drivers comes back for the remaining 3 minutes of Q1, or for Q2 to set the first times. Who knows? But see you very soon, I'm sure, guys. Or for you, it'll be like a couple of seconds. Anyway, see you in a minute, guys. Hello everybody, and we are back for another qualifying session. Of course, Q2 here, and it's definitely going to be a very interesting one here today. Of course, our bottom 5 have gone out, and unfortunately I cannot confirm who that was, but our bottom 5 have gone out, and all of our drivers has remained in the top for Q2 here, but can they potentially set better times so they can get into Q1 here? That's definitely going to be the interesting question, and whether they can show that they can do it or not will also be the question we're all asking ourselves here. But away we go now. Everyone is out. That includes Evan, that includes Jamie, that includes Harry, that includes not Callum, Carl, Preston has just come out, and Jamie, of course, is out. So everyone but Callum is now out. Will Callum join the rest of them in a few minutes? Who knows? Hopefully so we can get in a great time. But we shall see. But now Evan is leading the charge here. You have Jamie just behind him, I believe. Yeah, that is Evan up in front there. So he will be first to start a time lap here in Q2, so it's definitely going to be a very interesting to see what he can do. Of course, he did beat Jamie last time out in Q1, so it's definitely going to be a very interesting one. And let's see what times he can pull here today. And hits the curb just a little bit there. He does need to be a bit more careful, but nice exit out of that corner there. I must say, round the fast bend here, round here as well, and slowing down for the corner. Nicely took, not too wide there, and nicely round this corner as well. Not too much speed, and nicely done. Goes a bit wide on that corner, but manages to not go too wide, and manages to save it. But here we go now with Evan starting his... No, I'm sorry. Evan wasn't the first one to start his time lap. It was, in fact, Carl here, one of the championship contenders. So, yes, he is on his time lap here. So, he is potentially looking to get past the slow-moving traffic of Sebastian Vettel. Will Vettel allow him to pass? Because Vettel's also on a time lap here. You can't forget about that. And we haven't even got most of the stuff up that we need. There you go. You've got everything up now that you need to see. DRS for Carl, but also for Vettel here. But Carl may be looking to make better use of it. And of course, he does the late braking and gets past on the inside of Vettel. Although Vettel didn't allow him to pass. So I count that in my book as Carl getting me overtake in qualifying. I know it sounds silly, but you've got to look at my logic here, people. Using the DRS on the straight, gets that purple sector 2 here. Nice work by Carl, I must say. Now round the corner, nicely done, and onto the mini straight here. Now round the bends very nicely, of course, nice and quick, not losing too much speed. Round that corner as well, nicely done. And here we go, potentially onto the mini straight here. Let's see what speeds Carl can get up to potentially here. Nicely done round here. What time will Carl set? Be the first time to set a time. What's it gonna be here, people? That is gonna be a 1:37.151. Nice work by Carl, I must say. Now Evan will be the next one to finish his lap here. What's he gonna get? That is going to be a 140.522 here for Evan. Drops him down to P10 here. Wow. Jamie takes a 139.456 here. That's P3. Couldn't beat the AI of Lewis Hamilton, very unfortunately. But that is very unfortunate, I must say. Harry now setting Matt's P2 time with a 137.724. And then Preston just sets nicely behind him in P3 with a 138.593. Sorry, I had to correct myself there. And nice work by all of them here. And Callum is now on his fast lap here and about to come up on the finish line nicely round the corner, not losing too much speed, of course, trying to not set down into gear 1 so he doesn't have a bad exit. And Matt, he didn't. And round this bend, nicely done here, trying to keep the speed but can't. Getting back up to whatever speed he can. That's going to be a 139.183, settling him down just below Preston in P4 here. Nicely done by Callum, I must say. Can Jamie potentially beat the AI of Lewis Hamilton here? I'm sure we're about to find out. He definitely wants to, that's for sure. But can he do it now? Nicely round the corner here. Go around this corner as well. Nicely done by Jamie here. And round the bend, going a bit slow round that bend. That's definitely, no, actually, he doesn't have to worry about his time this time around because he's going into the pit because he's happy with the P6, of course, getting into that Q3 position. Evan is now up to that P8 position with a 139.586. which will secure him into Q2 if he can hold out for the last 9 minutes. I mean, he does have the AI of Yuki Tsunoda to beat here. Can he beat Tsunoda here? That's definitely the question, with 8 minutes and 47 seconds left here of qualifying, using the DRS down the straight here. What can he get the most out of that Mercedes engine? He is definitely trying here. Round the corner, nicely done here, and round this one as well, not losing too much speed, not going into gear 1 because that would be very awful for sure. Using the DRS down the straight here. Here we go now with Evan. What can he pull out the bag? Nicely round that corner, nicely round that one, and nicely round that one. Hits that curb. In fact, I'm going to have a lot of people telling me, you need to learn the name of corners. You can't just say round that corner, round that corner, round that corner. I know I do. I'm working on it, alright? But here we go now. Whoa! Evan has spun. I think he's damaged his wing. Is that a damage? Yes, that is a damaged left wing there. He's going to have to go into pits and repair it. Whatever time he had has definitely gone out of water because he spun again. I'm not sure whether that's due to hot tyres or whether that's just him unluckily spinning. But everyone but Evan has now gone into pits. In fact, Jamie is little high pitch there. Jamie has come back out for another outlap here to potentially beat the AI of Lewis Hamilton. Should he really be doing that? Should he really be pulling out the mediums here? I mean, is it really a tactical decision when you've still got a qualifying to go potentially? That's the question we all want to know, to be fair. But we'll see what Jamie can pull out the bag here. But here we go now with Jamie up the straight, not using any DRS, not getting any DRS. Now through the chicane, nicely done here, sticking to the inside, not going too wide. In fact, I'm about to say that camera angle's not changing there, but no matter. Here we go now, of course, round the bends here, nicely done, not losing too much speed. Round the corner, nicely done, not too wide round there, and round here he goes onto the mini straight here. Yes, we do call it a mini straight, you're probably all going to correct me on that. Round the bend here, trying not to lose too much speed, but he is slightly. Round here we go in gear 3, gear 4, gear 5. What's he going to get? And that was an outlap. Yes, have a laugh at me all you want, people. I know especially Callum and Preston and Harry and all the drivers are probably laughing their socks off right now. Aren't you lot? Yes, I know you are. But now, finally, Jamie is starting a lap and gets that purple sector 1 here. Nicely done by Jamie. Now straight onto the straight here. Getting that DRS. Is now using that DRS down the main straight. What can he get a purple sector 2 here? That's what we're all wondering. He has a bit to go to find out, of course. Through the chicane here, nicely done, not losing too much speed. Potentially might be able to get a bit more speed out of that normally, but not losing too much speed right there. Getting the DRS once again and about to reach our end of sector 2 onto sector 3, and he does not a purple sector 2, very unfortunately. So it does look like Carl might be keeping his P1 spot, but don't underestimate Jamie. He has done well in that P1 spot in Abu Dhabi before. We look back to last year and he had a 30-second gap on Preston and Callum. It was only due to Preston. Yes, Preston, it was you causing a safety car with Yuki Tsunoda. But Jamie unfortunately lost that lead. So can Jamie offer some potential... Well, can he come back strong potentially? Who knows? He's not getting that purple. He's not getting that P1 spot today, very unfortunately. And he doesn't beat Lewis Hamilton. I'm not even sure if he improved his time or not, to be fair. But he comes out nicely done by Jamie and keeps that P6 spot. And nicely enough done by Evan, remaining in that P9 spot. I know he's not out currently, but he's still remaining in that spot. And not getting beaten by the AIs, but the AIs do come out at the last 3 minutes all the time. So who knows what the AIs can do, whether they'll push Evan down out of Q3 or not. That'll be the first time ever we see a driver go out of Q2 here. I mean, it would be weird for sure, but will it happen today? That's the question for sure. But here we go now with Jamie down the straight using that DRS now. Potentially getting the most out of that Mercedes engine once again. Looking for all the power he can get. That ERS is getting run down Bone Driver. Of course, he doesn't have any control of his ERS here. It just goes as it pleases, I guess. But here we go now. Round the bends very nicely. We're at 115, 116, 117 here. Round the corner very nicely, keeps hitting the curves, goes wide due to hitting the curve there. So very unlucky for Jamie here. And as predicted, every AI is coming out now except Yuki Tsunoda and Lewis Hamilton, who are pretty good where they are for now. But will they look to improve the time? Will they come out? Who knows? That is all the drivers now coming in because Jamie is the last one to step in. So that, people, is well, we're gonna wait until, I was about to say the end of Q2, but a driver could still come up, but I'm pretty sure that will be the end of Q2 for our drivers. But the question is, will Evan get pushed out of Q3 here? I mean, that's the question we're all wondering here, but who knows whether it will actually happen or not. Stay tuned, people. You know you want to. See you in a minute whenever the drivers next come out, whether it's in Q3 or not. See you in a minute, people. And that, people, is the end of Q2. We didn't get Q1 leaderboard, but we're getting a Q2 leaderboard. So that is all the drivers remaining, and that is Fernando Alonso, Kimi Raikkonen, Pierre Gasly, George Russell, and Sebastian Vettel going out of Q2. Evan has just survived in P9, very surprisingly. But off we go now into Q3 here to see. Here we are now with Q3, the final qualifying session of the race day here until we get to the race, of course. Hopefully it won't be long until the guys come out, and it doesn't look like we're going to have to be waiting very long, that's for sure. It does look like potentially a Red Bull might be coming out, and that looks to be the Red Bull of Harry here. Is he the only one coming out? No, he isn't. Cole is also coming out here. So both championship contenders are coming out together, potentially to pull out some wizardry. Who knows what they could pull today. But we're going to go down the list here. No one else is coming out right now. We're even going to get up the data really quickly, your telemetry and your lap data. Here we are now. And we'll see what the Red Bulls can pull out today. Of course, it's going to include Callum as well. We'll see what Callum can pull. We'll see what Pressure can pull. Jamie is not coming out yet. That is, however, Evan coming out now. So all it takes is Jamie to come out now. What is Jamie doing potentially? I'm not sure. Getting something repaired? Who knows for sure here. But yes, it is now Evan coming out. But it will be Carl on his fast lap first. On his time lap first, so we'll see what Carl can pull out the bag, whether he'll be starting on pole position, or whether Harry will be starting on pole position, or whether someone completely out of the championship race will be starting on pole today. Potentially the newcomer Evan could be starting on pole. Imagine that, the McLaren reserve driver, the newcomer to our league, starting on pole today. It'd almost be as brilliant as Carl almost getting on pole in Bahrain back in race day 1 in season 2. But it is crazy to think we've come all this way within 14 races, and potentially season 3 will be starting very soon for sure. But whether it's in a week, whether it's in a couple days, whether what's happening, who knows. But hopefully it will be next Sunday for you lot. But I'm sure there'll be a trailer or something giving you guys updates, who knows. But we shall see, that's for sure. You'll definitely see my driver lineups and track updates video, so keep an eye out for that at least. But yes, everyone is on their time lap now. It is Carl first, of course, now taking up all that speed he can out of that Honda engine, trying to get away from Harry, not letting Harry get too much of that DRS, or that yeah, the DRS off of Carl here. oh, slipstream, that's what I was trying to say. I really can't talk right now, can I? But here we go now with Carl up the main straight using that DRS pace. Now let's see what Carl can set in here. Going round this corner very nicely on the inside. Now round this corner as well on the inside. Doesn't go too wide. Gets that DRS down the straight once again. Can Harry catch up with him? Can Harry potentially get a better time in him? That is a question Harry will be wanting to answer for himself here. That is a purple sector 2 by Harry here. Quite major in fact, but let's see, can Carl beat that with a purple sector 3 here? That's what he'll be wanting to do, that's what he'll be looking to do, but can he do that? That is truly the question here. Now the AI is setting those fastest times of the laps here. Yuki setting the fastest time of the lap with 1:39.452. That is the baseline for all our drivers here today. What times can they set here? What will it be by Carl here today on those mediums? That's going to be a 1:37.566. Harry beats that with a 1:37.086. Of course, Carl's on the mediums. Harry is on the softs. Potentially, Carl made an error in his strategy, going on the softs early, realising he can't do that. Callum takes P4 with a 1:38.102. That's not the major thing here today, no, people. Carl has slipped out, or was that Carl or was that Harry? I'm not too sure. But Preston has set the fastest time of qualifying with a 1:36.897. Well done to Preston, setting that P1, that pole, getting that pole position. Absolutely nice work by the Ferrari driver. Now Evan setting that P5 position with a 1:39.065. Can Jamie potentially beat that here today? He is a little bit behind. He's trying his best to catch up all he can, but he's already in the 120 zones. He's going to have to be quick to, oh, he's hit the wall here. No damage, I don't think, but it's looking alright for now. Going, try not to lose too much speed. Round the corner nicely done. 1:35, 1:36, 1:37, 1:38, and that's a 1:38.252. Just beating Evan here, just under a second here. So nice work by Jamie, I must say. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left here of qualifying. Everyone's still trying their utter best to set their best times they can for this race day, but who knows? I mean, that's the question. Is it best to be starting P2 or is it best to be starting P1? I believe it was Harry who spun out because he is on for 1:45.637. That is not a great lap when you're trying to get pole position from a 1:36.897 from Preston. What can Harry pull out this lap though? Who knows? That's the question. Cole is also looking to potentially get a better time and get ahead of Harry here. Can he pull out that? Can he pull that out the bag? Who knows for sure. Getting that DRS down the main straight. Here we go now with Cole, I must say. Just had to take a breather for a second. But now nicely round the corners here. Nicely how we go. There we go. Nicely done there by Cole. Down the main straight with DRS here. What can Carl pull out the bag here today? Can he win this championship here in Abu? I'm sure he'd be really wanting to, that's for sure. But it's going to take a long time, that's for sure. Can he do it though? That's the question now. We're getting up to that last few bends, last few corners here. Round the bends very nicely. And now round the corner, not going too wide on the corner here. Nicely done. Round the corner on the inside, nicely hit there. And round the back corner as well, nicely done. And here he comes down the mini straight here. Round the bend, nicely done. Past the pit entry. Round that corner. And what's he going to get, people? That is going to be a 1:37.320. Great when you get hiccups, am I right? Harry gets pole position with a 1:36.826. That is separated by, correct me if I'm wrong here, by 0.07 of a second. That is, no, correction. Yeah, no, 700ths of a second here. That is absolutely maddening. The fact that he's pulled that out the bag, out that Honda engine, but showing what he can do here. Will Carl be able to answer here? I mean, this is, if it stays like this, and if the race ends how it is right now, people, then your winner of the season of the World Drivers' Championship will be Harry, I believe, due to the 16-point gap. And if Carl gets that 15 points and Harry gets the 25 points, then I'm pretty sure Harry will take the championship. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself at the end of the video. But I do believe that is how we are looking like if Harry is to get that first place here today. But yes, here we go. Let's see what Carl can get. Potentially, can he get that pole position? That's what he's going to be looking for. He's going to be wanting, but can he truly get it here? Round the bends, nicely done. Round, oh, going into the pits, in fact, not wanting to get a better time, almost goes wide on that pit entry, but manages to save it. Is he looking to get those softs on and to beat Harry? That is the question we're all wanting to see. But now we're going to flick over to Callum. In fact, we haven't looked much of a Ferrari today, have we? What can Callum set here? What's it going to be? He's going to get... Oh no, he's not going to get anything. That was his out lap. He's now starting a time lap. I've done that twice this video. Please do not laugh at me. I know it's very annoying when the commentator gets it wrong. But what can you expect from us? We talk and sometimes we get facts wrong, as we know. Now, Evan has pitted. Jamie is on his out lap. Callum is on his out lap. Carl is pitted. Harry has just pitted there. And Preston is on his out lap. About to come up to the finish line here. Of course, Jamie doesn't improve his time very unfortunately. I'm not sure whether he's... no, actually, Preston is also on his out lap. So he's about to start a new lap here. Here we go with Preston about to start a new lap here. Round the bend, very nicely done here. Round the corner, potentially, no, I'd say that's more of a bend to be fair. And straight on to his time lap here. Let's see what he can do in the final few laps that Preston has here. Of course, he has a bit of traffic with the AIs, but there's not many AIs left here in Q3, so it's definitely going to be a very interesting race, that's for sure. But what's it going to be? Who's going to be the first to finish their time lap? It's going to be Callum here today. Now potentially taking that corner very nicely, trying to keep what speed he can through those corners, staying into that gear 3 now. Now going round this bend here, nicely done. Round this bend as well, because I'd say it's more a bend now. Onto the straight. What's he gonna get? That's gonna be a 137.372. Doesn't beat his time by like hundredths of a second here. That is crazy how it can just come down to those hundredths of a second here. We have 1 minute left here of the qualifying session here of Q3, and both the Red Bulls have just come back out ready to hunt, ready to pray, ready to see what they can pull out the bag. Can Harry keep that pole position, or will Carl on the newly freshened softs get that P1 position? He'll be really hoping so, but he has to get onto a new lap first before his last 20 seconds run out. I'm sure he can do it, but it does look like he may be the only one getting onto a new lap here, because Harry, he has a lot of time lap. He has a lot of time left here. I'm not sure if he knows whether he can... Is that an issue with his car, potentially? It does sound like it. What is going on here? No, actually, it does sound alright now. But, yes, Carl is on his new lap. It's all about to come down to this now. Harry has finished his qualifying. So has Evan. But Carl has DNF'd in the vital few moments of qualifying, the vital moments that he could have got that pole position, that could have made the utter impact. He has DNF'd here. Wow, I did not expect that, to be fair. But that means that's going to be the end of qualifying for Carl here, and the end of qualifying for Callum, taking it very slowly. cross him at line, take him at P4 position. Now it's just left up to Jamie and Preston here to finish their qualifying sessions. But wow, Harry takes that P1 position unless Preston can somewhat pull something major out of the bag. I mean, he does have a purple sector 2 here. And I think he is actually on for a great lap here. Could Preston steal this pole position? Are those newly freshened softs? I don't know, potentially it may be, may not be. I think they are. So they could really mean an astronomical amount here. Can he beat Harry with his pole position? Jamie, unfortunately, does not go up and beat Callum. He stays at P5. Now, the last one to beat, last one to complete his qualifying session. What's he gonna get here, people? What's he gonna end up with? I think he ended up with Q2, but we're about to find out here, people. Here we are with your qualifying session here. Q3 results. You have Harry in P1. He remains P1. That is going to be really important for the race day. But 55 laps, a lot can change. You have P2 Preston, P3 Carl, P4 Callum, P5 Jamie, and P6 to the McLaren reserve driver of Evans. So nicely done by all our drivers to get into the top 6 today. Well done to all of them. And let's get on to the race of Abu Dhabi. The final race, the race for first place. Let's get it. Let's go, people. Let's do this. Here we are with the formation lap, people. Welcome to Abu Dhabi. Of course, this track does have 2 DRS zones, 1 speed trap, and it is a brilliant track here today. So hopefully we're in for a lot of action, lots of enjoyment. Who knows what we're in for today, but here is your grid lineup. We have P1 Harry, P2 Preston, P3 Carl, P4 Callum, P5 Jamie, and of course the McLaren reserve driver, the newcomer to the league, P6 as Evan here today. So what action could we be in for today? Hopefully a lot of action, that's for sure, but who knows. We are in for a 55 lap race, so an absolute mega race for sure. But who knows what is going to happen here today. It's definitely going to be very interesting. I mean, here we are for a race for first place. You have Harry in P1. You have the other championship contender, Carl in P3. That's how it needs to end up for Harry to win the championship. I do believe 16-point gap. And if Carl ends up P3, he gets 15 points. But Carl and Callum have been disqualified from the formation lap. Will still start the race, but they'll start from the starting positions. So they will end up with cold tyres, whilst the rest of them end up with warm tyres, and will get a better start. That is going to be a very not great for Carl here today. So very unfortunate for Carl, but nicely done there by Harry to get that pole position in qualifying, that's for sure. But yes, we are about to line up on the grid. We got a bit of ways to go actually, so we can all what I said there. But yes, we are getting ever so closely now to what the start of the race. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm confusing my words now, but it's only because it's going to be a long race and I'm fearing my voice going. That's for sure. I'm not looking forward to it, people. That is, it's not going to be great for me. It's going to kill my voice, I already know. But we're coming up to the final few bends here, where the grid lineup is about to take place here. What? Oh god, my voice is already going. You're going to hear high-pitched Daniel like you did in Monaco, I tell you. But yes, as I said, here we go now for the grid lineup. What is this going to mean for everyone? Here we go now. Everyone is lining back up. Nicely done, nicely done. And we'll just wait for Mick Schumacher to be the last to line up on the grids here. And I believe he is about to be lined up. Yes, here we go, people. This is it. Welcome to Abu Dhabi 2021 Season 2. It is lights out. And away we go for the final race of Season 2. What a great getaway by Harry to keep that P1 position, but what a great getaway by Evan to get up to that P3 position. Down goes Carl into our P6 position. Jamie got that P5 position, but it's dropped down to P6 as Carl got the overtake on Jamie, but Jamie is fighting back for that P5 position and does keep it going into the corner. Callum is still in P4. Evan is in P3, massive improvement, as I said. Preston's still in that P1 position, but Harry has a lot of work here to do today. If he wants to keep that P1 position, can he keep it though? That's definitely the question. But now Carl down in P6. That's not something you see for a championship contender, but he may be looking for an overtake here. Maybe looking to go on the inside. He can't. Jamie goes on the outside and beats him to it. Bounces over the curb, and Carl is now catching up to him, potentially going for the overtake. We do need to pull up the data. Why haven't I yet? I do not know. But there you go. Carl now using his full ERS to get past Jamie, and he does, and goes into that bend in that P5 position. But Jamie may be fighting back here, may want that position back, and he is, but Carl is getting away from Jamie. Nice work here, I must say, for Carl to get away. And here we go now, with Callum still in P4. We have Evan still in P3, Preston in P2 and Harry in P1. Jamie, however, has dropped down to P12 here. He has lost quite a few overtakes. Not sure if he's spun out or something, but who knows. He has lost quite a few overtakes. That's a P15 position. P16 is that damage for Jamie. Yes, it is. He's going into pits. I believe it is his right wing here. So very unlucky for Jamie here. He's going to have to do a change of strategy here. What can he pull out the bag? Who knows? But now you have Evan down into P4. He is fighting his way against Carl here. Carl just gets past Evan. Nice work, I must say, to get past Evan. But Evan, I'm sure, will not concede defeat lightly. Can he catch up? He's not getting that DRS. There is no DRS until lap 3, of course. But can Carl catch up? That is the question. What can Carl catch? Well, of course, Carl will want to catch up to Callum, but can Evan catch up to Carl? That's the question. I'm sure he'll want to, but can he? Who knows? But now Carl trying his best to catch up to Callum here. Can Callum hold him off? Can Callum kind of just keep him at bay? Who knows? Now Carl using his ERS. Callum isn't. Callum potentially maybe doesn't realise what's following him, but potentially does now. Carl trying his utter best to see if he can find an overtake or something on Callum here. Using his ERS now, potentially looking for the overtake here. Can he get it? No, he can't. Can't get close enough. Now he might be close enough. No, he can't. Callum just holds him off. Defends him very nicely here. Round now onto the mini straight. Carl is trying his utter best to get this overtake. Can he do it though? That's the question we're all wondering. Harry sets the fastest lap of the race with 142.143. My throat is already going, people. I tell you, DRS is now enabled on lap 3. Here we go. This is where the real fighting begins. Of course, 0.2 second gap between Carl and Callum. That's definitely going to be an easy DRS overtake if Carl can get the DRS on Callum, and it does look like he will be coming up to the straight here. He sees Callum in his sight. 0.4 second gap. Now going round the bend very nicely. 0.6 second gap. Callum gets a good exit, but so does Carl. DRS is looming, 0.5 second gap, and Carl does have that DRS, potentially using his ERS, and yes he does, and little spurs his ERS, going past Callum on the inside, and nicely done there by Carl to get that P3 position from Callum. Now has to hunt the other Ferrari of Preston with a 4 second gap here. Can he close that gap fast enough? That's definitely the interesting question. I'm probably going to go and open my window because I'm already getting hot as it is. You'd think I would have learned by now to open my window, but I surely haven't. There we go. The window is now open. We're in fact going to open these curtains, and we're gonna look to see what can happen here. And 4.1 second gap now for Carl. Has to close it in on Preston. Can he close that gap fast enough? It's not really happening right now, but I mean Harry is getting away from Preston here with a 2-second gap here. Do not undermine Harry. Harry says the fastest up once again with a 141.858. So Harry is majorly getting away, but once Harry is getting away, Carl is catching up to Preston. So can Carl look for an overtake on Preston? That's definitely be the interesting question we're all wondering, and seeing if it can happen. We have it's been lap 4 now, so we have 51 laps left to go. And yes, we're already counting it, people. It's 55 laps. Like, come on, we gotta count them. Take a minute, take a breath. But yes, here we go down the main straight. Carl is still trying his utter best to catch up to Preston, whilst Harry is getting away from Preston here. But now you have Callum in P4, so you have Evan still in P5. Potentially might be getting overtaken by Valtteri Bottas here, and he does. Valtteri makes it look so easy and passes him on the inside. Nicely done by Valtteri, but Evan might be going for that overtake again. Evan can't squeeze, but Valtteri spun. So was Evan. I believe there was a little bit of wheel contact there between them. Wow, major, that's for sure. But we drop down to P20 here. 19-second gap here. Can Jamie close that gap fast enough? He'll definitely be wanting to, but can he fast enough? That is the question we're all hoping to see. But now, due to that wheel spin, due to that collision of wheels, Evan is down to P8 here. Valtteri still holds that P5 position. So if anyone's really, you know, got good out of that spin, it is Valtteri Bottas, that's for sure. But can Evan catch back up with these overtakes on Lewis Hamilton and Tsunoda? He'll sure be wanting to, but it looks like Carl might be catching up with fast lap of 141.545. So Carl is not giving up. He wants that position. He wants to win that championship. Can he, though? That's going to be the all-important question. But what happens if, if Carl can get that fastest lap point? It's a 16-second gap. Does Carl keep the championship, or does Harry keep it? That's the interesting question there. Who knows for sure. Wait, hold up a second. No, I am so dumb. Or am I? After all this time, I mean, it's a 16-second gap now, right? Yeah. Add 15 points. And 25 points. No, I'm not sure whether where Carl has to be for Harry to win. I'm so confused. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I'm actually gonna get the calculator up here. I know it's brilliant, ain't it? So we have to do just some quick calculations. I mean, if you do what? So 25 minus what? Minus 15. Obviously, you get that 10-point gap. No, that's not how you... I might actually have to ask the guys here where they need to get, but I need to know by the end of the race, of course. It's like last year. Preston already had it guaranteed, so I knew who won the Drivers' Championship. But this year, I'm not sure because... Hold up, if we go 16 plus 15 for Carl, you get 31 points, yeah? And if Harry wins, he gets 25 points. So in fact, Carl still wins if he gets third place, right? So in utter fact, for Harry to win, I actually truly believe Carl needs to get... Carl needs to get Carl needs to get 6th. Because 6th gets 8 points correct. Correct me if I'm wrong here. So, we're doing calculation in the race, I know. If Carl gets 6th, that's, what, 8 points, yeah? 8 points. 8 plus 16 is 24. And if Harry wins, he gets 25. So that's 1 point extra. So in utter fact, for Harry to win this race, either, and correct me if I'm wrong here, either Carl has to not be in points or DNF, and Harry needs to be at least 2nd, or Carl needs to be 6th, and Harry needs to be 1st to win, for Harry to win the championship. But if Harry isn't 1st, and Carl gets him the points, well, no, wait, hold up. Carl was getting the overtake on Preston here. Nicely done, but Preston might be fighting back here. But he can't. Carl manages just to squeeze past. I believe it was on the inside of Preston. Now Preston goes a bit wide. But yes, Carl has got the overtake on Harry. On Preston, I mean. And now, because of that, well, it was already. But right now, on lap 7, Carl is your championship winner here. Wow. But yeah, going back to what we were saying before, Carl got the overtake on Preston. We're going to flick down to someone else. We're going to flick down to Evan here. Yeah, that is the thing. It's... yeah, so... wow. So Carl needs to get 6th or DNF or not be in. And Harry needs to get 1st. Or anywhere else whilst Carl DNFs or gets no points for Harry to win. Those are the only 2 options. I mean, if Carl DNFs, this is Harry's race, but if Carl doesn't DNF and Harry doesn't get 1st place, then I'm pretty sure without a shadow of doubt, unless... I actually know there may be one position that unless Harry gets 2nd and Carl gets 10th. But that's the only way, that's the only other way it can work. So there's a lot of combinations here for Harry to win this championship, but who knows whether he can, who knows whether Harry will be able to pull off the championship win, or whether it will evade him for one more season or not. But here we go now with Evan trying his best to catch up to Lewis Hamilton. You've got Jamie down in P20 with a 44-second gap. What is going on with Jamie here? He was like a 20-second gap last time we checked, and now he's at 44-second gap. Come on, Jamie, man. Let's go. Come on, man. Let's do better than this, yeah? Let's get back up there to see if we can even. Who knows? But Harry now still up, holding that P1 position. I mean, even if he does, he's not taking that championship home. I don't think at all. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's a way, unless under those combinations, that Harry wins his championship. So right now, unfortunately, Carl does take home that Drivers' Championship, but we do have what... I have to count now. This ain't gonna be good. We have 46 laps left to go. That's correct. Sorry, had to do some quick multiplication, which I'm not very good at. Maths is not my strong point. Let's just say that. But 46 laps left to go of this 55 lap mega race here. And what an amazing time we're hopefully in for here. Preston in P3 here, Callum in P4. Can Preston potentially catch up to Carl and send him down? Who knows? I mean, imagine the scenes if Carl DNF'd. I mean, the way that Harry lost second place last year, DNFing, imagine if he wins first place that way. That would be major. But who knows for sure here. Yes, as I said, here we go now for Harry. Of course, trying to keep that P1 position. Trying to win this race from Carl. But Carl, I do believe, is catching up every second race. He is catching up to Harry, very unfortunately. So I don't think Harry is going to have this for very much longer, I do have to say. Unless Harry can pull off some absolute wizardry, as we mentioned earlier. It's not looking likely, that's for sure. You'd think I'd be able to speak normally, but I mean, we've had like a 50-minute qualifying session and we've got like, what, 45 laps left to go. My throat's feeling it already. This ain't going good for me, people, I'll tell you at all. And I'm sorry if you hear anything outside, by the way. It's just atmosphere, ain't it? But as I said, here we go now with Harry. 1.9 second gap between him and Carl. Can Carl catch up? That is the question. I mean, can Callum catch up to Preston now? Because what I didn't mention before, unfortunately, Ritvic ain't here, so the battle for fifth place isn't taking place. But the battle for third place is between Preston and Callum. I believe they're only separated by a few points. So for Preston, for Callum to actually get that third place, I believe he just has to overtake Preston. But can Callum overtake Preston or not? That is truly the question here. I'm sure we'll be looking forward to finding out here. But here we go now with Harry trying his best to keep this. His best to keep the lead. But Carl is utterly pursuing him. Pursuing his prey, you could say, as the bull he is. But yes, and trying his utter best to catch up here. What will happen here? I do wonder, that's for sure. But now Carl trying his utter best to catch up here. Oh, it's great when you start hiccuping and burping and all the in between when you're trying to commentate. Am I right or am I right? But Carl's still trying his utter best. 3 second time penalty for Jamie, either for still can't speak, either for corner cutting or for exceeding track limits. Jamie, man, what are you doing? It's starting all over again. Whereas you were at the top in P1 position with like a 30-second gap last year, you're now at bottom you're now at P20 with a 51-second gap with a 3-second time penalty already. Jamie, lad, what is going on? I mean, come on, you're better than this, lad. You're seriously better than this. I mean, you're about to get lapped. I think, what's happened here? I think his braking's just gone. He did say something about how he's struggling to braking or something. I'm not sure. I think his control is damaged and he just can't steer. He can't brake or anything. What is he trying to do now? I'm not sure. I think he's still trying to compete, but I'm not actually sure. But now Jamie starts his 11th lap, whilst Harry is starting his 12th lap here. Using that ERS, still trying to get away from Carl. But Carl is about to get within DRS range of Harry any minute now. 1.1 second gap now. 10-second time penalty, exceeding track limits. That is a 13-second time penalty. I feel bad for Jamie. I mean, think about it. I mean, his braking ain't working. It's not his fault, but he has been lapped by the 2 Red Bulls here. I'm sure it won't be long before he's lapped by Preston as well. Very unfortunately here. But this might be the moment that we've all been waiting for. Some competition between the two championship contenders. Now, Carl trying his utter best to get past, but he can't pull it off. Harry went on the inside of the corner. Carl was pushed to the outside, and Carl could not get the overtake, but that does not mean that Carl won't try again. And Carl is trying again with the DRS here, trying to go on the outside, but Harry tried to close him off, but he couldn't. Little bit of wheel contact sends Harry off the track, and Carl firmly takes that P1 position. Your championship leader is currently within that P1 position. We are on lap 12 out of 55 here. Wow, this is really, really going down, ain't it? What a major thing, I must say. But as I said, here we go now, and let's see what can happen here. Can Harry potentially catch back up? No, he won't. Due to wheel contact, Harry is having to pit. No, actually, I think it's just because he's on lap 13 with softs. I mean, come on. He should have pitted earlier. Am I right? Or am I right? But, I mean, Carl got 12 lap old softs. Harry's got new softs. Press has got 12 lap old mediums. Callum's got 11 lap old mediums. Jamie's got 5 lap old mediums. And Evans just pitted, I do believe, in fact. So, nice work there by Evan to get that pit done and dusted. Jamie now not being able to catch up at all. He's down by 1 minute with a 13-second time penalty. This really isn't looking good for Jamie whatsoever. He's letting the guys pass, of course, got blue flagged. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He should have stayed on track to do that. What's happened here? I do not know. But however, what I did see at reflection, Jamie, is Harry has just got past Callum here. Nice work by Harry to get past Callum. He is looking to absolutely storm straight back up and get that P1 position. But will Carl look to pit here? He might just do that, in fact. If he can get there fast enough, but I believe he will in fact get there quite fast enough without being under threat from Preston here, but he's trying his utter best to here. Lap 13, still got, what, 42 laps left to go. Whoa! Carl has taken that pit entry lane quite wide, of course, knocking down a bit of time, a few seconds. 3-second time penalty for Jamie once again for corner car. Jamie has retired from the session. I don't blame him. Safety car here. Has he DNF'd or is he retired? I'm not sure here. But that is a safety car. Might have something to do with the George Russell going down a few positions. I'm not too sure. But safety car really works in favour of Carl here. And that has actually majorly worked in favour of Carl. How the hell has Carl pulled that off? He is so, I mean, he didn't even plan for it, but he's so strategically got that safety car that it has worked entirely in his favour, I must say. Yeah. Wow, safety car here. What's going to happen? I do wonder. We're going to make some bold predictions here, people. What safety car is going on? Harry potentially winning this race could happen. Carl winning this race more likely to happen, I would say. Preston potentially getting up there and beating Callum could very much will happen. Whilst Callum potentially beating Preston, we've seen Preston have an 11-second gap so far on Callum. So is that really the question that Callum could beat Preston? I really don't know for sure. Evan getting back up after him being in P12. I really don't know about that one, to be fair. I believe that's definitely going to be a tough one for Evan to pull out. But we've seen stranger things happen. And yes, we've just seen the release of Stranger Things Volume 2. That's when we are recording this, isn't it, Major? We've been recording that ages and ages ago, I know. But yes, here we go now. Preston pitting, of course, sees his chance with the safety car to pit. Knows he has this chance that he's probably not going to get again. So he is pitting. Can he get out before Carl overtakes him here. It doesn't seem likely. It really doesn't seem likely. But that delta speed might just beat the pit speed. And it does in fact beat him. And what I thought was Carl was actually not. It was actually Harry. I said it was Carl because I thought it'd be Carl up in front. But it's not. It was actually Harry up in front. So Harry has got that P1 position back. But with the safety car, Carl will be closing in on Harry. And just wait until the safety car goes in. And you're going to see proper carnage. But we're back to basically how the top four started in the grid lineup here. So can Carl pull up some madness and get ahead of Preston here potentially? Who knows? It's definitely going to be very interesting to see. That is for sure. But who knows indeed. But why are we targeting on Fernando Alonso here? We don't need to target on Fernando Alonso. I will actually look at Preston here for a bit until the safety car goes in, I think. But yeah, that is how your lineup for safety car is going. P1 Harry, P2 Preston, P3 Carl, P4 Callum, P12 Evan. So Evan is quite a long way down there. Of course, very, very unfortunately DNF for Jamie here. So who knows whether Evan can find redemption for his teammate, of course, Jamie, and get back up. Who knows? We do have 2 laps left of the safety car, so a while left to go, that's for sure. We have 40 laps left to go here. Trust me, I love the idea of doing this, and then I get in and I realise my voice is going to absolutely cripple for the rest of the day, and I'm like, oh no, you got to be kidding me. Because, you know, can't stream obviously because my voice will be crippled for the rest of the day, but who knows for sure what's going to happen. I mean, it's basically just less of a double stack, ain't it, really, for us. But who knows what's going to happen here. We are entering the next lap, the 16th lap under the safety car, the second lap under the safety car, called the 16th lap of the race. So we're getting ever so closely to potentially getting up there and getting that safety car in and getting back under green flag condition, racing conditions, and seeing what can happen here between our drivers, in fact. But who knows for sure here. Let's hope you can't hear the engine of the car that's just pulled into my street here. But yes, lap 16, we've got a while left to go, and yeah, who knows what's left to do here. Carl still has a lot of work to be done. Can he... When did he get that penalty? That's a 3-second time penalty. When did he get that? Was it breaking safety car rules? Was it breaking yellow flag rules? Was it pit lane entry, in fact? I'm not sure, because that's an interesting one. That is a real interesting one. But who knows for sure? That's definitely for sure. But yes, here we go now with Harry up at the top now, still leading the safety car charge. Safety car is finally in this lap, so we're about to get back under racing conditions, and my voice is about to go absolutely crippled again, that's for sure. But yes, here we go now. Of course, the races are hopefully ready and steady to get back under racing conditions, ready to put pedal to metal. Can they though? I mean, what, you've got 44 laps left to go of this race. You've got a while left to go of this race, obviously. Can they really show what they're made of here? I like how Carl's gap was 0.434. Like, I've just got to bring that up, you know, because why the hell not? But yes, here we go now with Harry. We're about to enter racing conditions. He's holding the whole pack up, of course. He knows the tactic of holding the whole pack up. And going as soon as he's ready, not as soon as the rest are ready, of course. Potentially causing any crashes, any collisions. And here we go. Harry has put pedal to metal. He has got away. We are back under racing conditions. Green flag. Here we go, people. And Carl has got a straight overtake on on Callum, should I say. No racing at all. I believe Callum managed to get the overtake on Preston, in fact. So, very unlucky start for Preston, I must say. Lap 17 here. Here we go now. What's this going to mean for the championship? I mean, right now, Carl does win the Drivers' Championship, and of course, Red Bull inevitably win the Constructors' Championship. But, what is going to happen here, I do really wonder. But who knows? Here we go now for Carl trying his utter best to catch up to Harry. Can he though? Can he truly catch up to Harry here? It's not impossible, that's for sure. But is it inevitable? That's the question for sure, isn't it? Yellow flag in sector 2. Something has obviously happened. You can see Evan dropping down to P15 now, trying his utter best to keep that position, that P14 position. But Lance Stroll just gets ahead of him. Very unlucky for Ritvik's for Evan, should I say, Ritvik's replacement, but Evan manages to get late braking ahead of Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi, because Nicholas Latifi has got ahead of Stroll, in fact, and Evan manages to keep that P14 spot, but he may be under threat by Gotafi. That is Nicholas Latifi here. Yes, we're calling him Gotafi. I'm not sure whether we'll be come August. But we're calling him Gotafi here, people. Harry says the first lap of race of 1:40.519. Absolute brilliant work by Harry, I must say. But that won't stop Carl, I'm sure. Carl will be on the hunt for Harry here. And Harry took a Harry took a very big risk there, going over those bumps the same way he DNF'd last year. I'm not sure if he really remembers here, otherwise he probably wouldn't have done that, let's be honest. But yes, he is gone over those bumps, and who knows what can happen here. Let's see, shall we? But we're going to knock it down to a Callum here, who is within DRS range, but not getting any DRS for some reason. Instead, using all of his ERS, potentially got 47% now. Late breaking into that corner. 1.1 second gap now. Potentially still trying to close that gap if he can between him and Preston. But Preston is getting away now. But Carl has got ahead of Harry. It was inevitable, I'm pretty sure, from the start. Carl has got ahead of Harry. Nicely done there by Carl to get ahead. The championship leader, of course, with that 3-second time penalty. Can Harry get back up or not? Who knows? That's for sure. But yes, here we go. 0.8 second gap now. And that's all that it means for Harry. If he can catch back up, whether he can or not, who knows. But there you see both the Red Bulls charging up at front like we've seen them do so many times this season. DRS is back enabled, but maybe a second a bit too late for Harry here, as Harry is without the DRS zone now. Is out of the DRS time frame, of course, zone. But who knows whether he can catch back up or not. That is a question for sure. But Preston now trying his utter best to catch up to Harry. Imagine that Harry gets knocked down to P3 instead of P2. That would be massive, that would be big. But what is going to happen here, I really do wonder. That's for sure, people. My voice is suffering already, that's for sure. And we're not even at night time here in Abu Dhabi. I do wonder why. It should be reaching night time by now, I would say. But maybe it's meant to say as daylight here today in Abu Dhabi. Who knows, that's for sure. Maybe would make an utter change, wouldn't it? We'll be looking at more of an F2 setting than an F1 setting, that's for sure. But yes, here we are now. The top four are majorly separated from me. Well, not majorly, but separated from the others by 6 seconds. Quick yawn whilst I'm at it, because why not? We're filming this at 10 AM, and I know it's probably not that early for you lot, but when you're working every day really early, it gets tiring, that's for sure. But you know, YouTube takes priority, as we all know, that's for sure. But here we go. Now, I don't know why we're targeting Fernando Alonso again, that's so weird. But it's just Callum's time potentially to go for an overtake. He's closing in on Preston, so he could potentially get this overtake. But can he do it fast enough? Do not underestimate Callum. I'm sure it could happen here. That's for sure. We're 20. We've done 20 laps. We're 35 laps left to go. The laps are getting absolutely chomped down by the second now. We're about closing in on where we would be ending if this was a normal Grand Prix for us, but this isn't a normal Grand Prix. No, people, this is a Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Apparently, Jamie was in a sandwich into a wall at the start. Then it went downhill from there, so that's why he's unfortunately retired from a race, because he saw no way back really from this race, and I don't blame him. He was like 1 minute off, wasn't he? It was very tough. I think if we look back to Jeddah in season 1, Ritvic did the same. He got to like 1 minute and he couldn't come back, and he restarted, he DNF'd because he just thought, what's the point anymore? You know, what is truly the point here? But Harry now trying his utter best within that 2-second gap to potentially catch up to Carl, but he is losing that time. Carl is managing to keep this gap for all he can here, but who knows what he can do here. I'm just thinking, like, normally our highlights are like 15, 20, even 30 minutes if we're going that long sometimes. But how long was the last highlights of Abu Dhabi? 49 minutes. So basically a whole Grand Prix, normal Grand Prix. But whether you guys want to watch that or not, it's up to you. But of course you wouldn't want to miss the conclusion to the final race of the season, whether you're watching it here right now with us or whether you're going to be watching it on the highlights. It's up to you really. But now Evan down into P19 here, potentially going to get back up a few places. No, he can't catch up to the pitters, very unfortunately. George Russell will probably make it out. No, actually, George Russell is sitting there. He could make it. Evan could catch up before George makes it out, and it does look like he will, and he does. Nicely done there by Evan to get back up to that P18 spot, but it does look like George may be catching up to Evan here. Can Evan get away from George? That's definitely going to be an interesting question, that's for sure here. But we go back up to the top now. You have a 2.3 second gap between Harry and Carl. Harry still not being able to catch up to Carl, very unfortunately. And you could say the same for Callum on Preston. 2.5 second gap between Callum and Preston here. Callum trying his utter best, but still not being too successful in catching up, very unfortunately. So who knows what will happen here. Whether Callum can catch up with a third, I was about to say 30 second gap, it's 2 second gap a minute ago, but I'm looking at Yuki Tsunoda. 2 second gap on Preston and a 2 second gap on Carl from Harry. Who knows whether they'll be able to catch up or not? That's the interesting question. We all want to find out, that's for sure. Can Evan keep this P18 position from George Russell? I'm sure he'll be majorly wanting to, but we shall see. Actually, I don't think we'll have to wait around, because I believe George Russell is catching up to Evan here, so do not undermine George Russell. Unfortunately, I can't believe I'm saying that, gets under our own drivers, but the newly crowned Mercedes driver in F1 22, you can probably hear a stupid motorbike in the background. We gotta have a window here, people, because it is boiling. It is right now. Bear in mind, it is 12. Right, okay, it's 12 o'clock. It's noon, but no, it's lunchtime basically. But it is 23 degrees now here, where we are in UK. No, I mean Abu Dhabi. We're totally in Abu Dhabi now in the UK. So yeah. here we are, 23 degrees. You see why I need the window open now. But Evan has, I believe due to a pit or something, I'm not sure, managed to get past the Alfa Romeo of the retired Kimi Raikkonen, potentially stepping in for his last race, because I do have forgotten to mention Season 3 will be with the new regulations, with the new cars, with the new everything. We will be hopping on to F1 22, so do not miss the action that will unfold there. We will be seeing some new drivers, we'll be seeing some potential drivers leaving this season. It all depends on a certain crossplay feature, but if we get that crossplay feature, people will be filling out the grid more than we have before, so you better want to stick around for Season 3, because it's about to get even better, I tell you that for sure now. But here we go. We go back up to the top now. Still a 2.8 second gap between Callum and Preston, and now a 3.1 second gap between Harry and Carl. Carl is getting away. Carl potentially keeping this championship under wraps, not letting it go under his fingertips at all. Some nice work there by Carl, I must say, to keep that P1 position. But now we try our absolute best to potentially see maybe a safety car would absolutely shake up things. But will a safety car unfold at any time within this race? Who knows, that's for sure. But now we go, I mean, actually, Preston, potentially 5.4 seconds. Could he catch up to Harry? I think he is losing a lot of time here. I mean, like Callum's losing a bit of time on Preston. He's now at a 3.3 second gap now, just for racing. It is very unfortunate. But what will happen for Callum? Who knows? Will he be able to overtake Preston? That's, well, I'm sure we'll be finding out very soon. But George still holds at 0.9 second gap. He's now a 1 second gap between George and Evan. So Evan is keeping this gap alive, but George may be coming back here using that DRS. He is now potentially going for the overtake on Evan here, if he can get close enough. And no, George Russell cannot get close enough, unfortunately. That looked very weird, didn't it? Just seeing it from the side. But that's where you're seeing it from the side, obviously, Daniel. Get it right, come on. But Russell now closing in on Evan ever so closely as always. Can Evan somehow keep George Russell from taking this position? I really don't know. If Evan can keep this P17 position, then it will be great for sure. But what's our tyres looking at right now? No, we don't need that. We need interval. What's our tyres looking at? Carl with the 9 lap old softs. You have Harry with 10 lap old softs. You have Preston with the 8 lap old softs. Callum with the 9 lap old softs. And Evan with the 4 lap old softs. So I believe the 2 Red Bulls are going to have to pit very, very soon. That's for sure. So who knows? Who knows for sure? That's who knows? I was about to say who knows? Who knows? Who knows for sure? Who knows for sure? But yeah, I kept going on. All right. But now a 3.7 second gap between Harry and Carl here. Harry's just not closing this gap at all, is he? I really do not know what's going on with Harry. He's just falling off. But it does look like, unless by some circumstance, you know, Carl slips out DNFs or retires or safety car potentially, this is Carl's championship. But imagine if Carl DNF. Just imagine the scenes if Carl DNF. That would be Harry's championship completely and utterly. But who knows whether what will happen here today, whether that will happen or not. But now, potentially, I mean, 6.2 second gap between Preston and Harry. You have a 5.3 second gap between Harry, no, not between Harry and Callum, between Preston and Callum. So still a lot of gaps left to close here between the guys. Callum close them fast enough. Who knows, but they're all just kind of racing round, no overtaking, unfortunately. Which I kind of wanted to see a lot of today, because it's what keeps us entertained for sure. Well, especially me. My commentary keeps you guys entertained. But let me know for sure whether you think my commentary is complete and utter shit, or whether you think it's actually really good or not. Who knows for sure. But here we go now. Carl's still racing up the top, enjoying this lead on lap 25 out of 55. That's 30 laps left to go of this race. We are chomping down this these laps here. I tell you, as long as the safety are done. Oh, yellow sector 3 here. I believe one of the Ferraris has spun out. I'm not sure which one, but no, actually, I think it was Harry who spun and having to go into pits here. He's conceding defeat. He knows he has to go into pits now. Because of that, President takes that P2 spot. Callum takes that P3 spot. So they are back on the podium once again if they can hold it. But I mean, Harry pitting. They're going to have to pit as well at some point. Who knows whether they'll pit, how quickly they'll pit or not. But what's the gap to leader right now? What we got? A 32-second gap between Carl and Harry. So even if even if Carl does pit, Harry still has a long way to catch up, and whether he can catch up or not is another question. That's for sure. But yeah, Harry is now down to P5. Has an overtake to Paul. Can he get the overtake here? It may be the first ever overtake we have been seeing for a long time here. Can he get the overtake? We do need the times on, that's for sure. But that's not what I need. We needed full. But Harry may be going for the overtake on the outside of Yuki Tsunoda. And he does get it. Does he use the DRS? And I believe he did. He was getting a lot of speed out of it. So I believe he did use the DRS. Got past Yuki Tsunoda. And that is the first overtake we've been seeing in a while, people. So nicely done. That's for sure. But here we go. 26 laps have been done. And Harry has a 15-second gap to Callum. Can he close that gap fast enough? I'm sure he can with the new sauce. But I'm sure it's only a matter of time before he does here. My voice, I can hear, I can feel my voice going. I feel my throat crumbling, hurting, and we keep going anyway because it's all about YouTube. But if you want an example of what happens when my voice actually goes, go to Monaco, where my voice just went utterly high pitch at the end of that race because it just could not survive keeping talking when it was just hurting and hurting. That is for sure. But yes, as I said, lap 27 here. We have what 35 laps. No, I have to do maths in a minute. I believe it's more like 27 laps. I believe that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense actually. 28 laps it might actually be. That would make more sense. Yeah, 28 laps. So we still got a lot left to go. But hopefully we see quite a few overtakes to come. Who knows? But may I just add, Evan has made an awesome recovery back up to PA, potentially going after the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. You're probably all going to speak to me, put in the comments like, you do realise that Evan was getting overtaken this whole time. I'm going to be like, no I didn't. Or maybe it was just due to pits. I'm probably sure it was due to pits or something. I'm not actually entirely sure, that's for sure. But we will find out whether he can catch up to Lewis Hamilton or whether he'll get overtaken by Pierre Gasly very soon. I'm sure of it. But Harry's still trying his utter best to catch up here. Who knows what can happen, that is for sure. Harry trying his utter best to catch up here. 11.9 second gap. No one else has pitted here yet, which is very interesting because the longer the car waits, the shorter the gap gets between him and Harry, which means the less time he has to pit. And I mean, what we have. And what's the time run out? 13 lap old socks. You think Carl would have pitted soft by now. I think I don't know what he's doing, whether he's taking him up to lap 15 or not, but who knows for sure here. I mean, you've got Preston on 12 lap old mediums, you've got Callum on 13 lap old mediums, you've got Evan on 8 lap old softs, so they're all working on their tyres very slowly, very surely, that's for sure. There you go, you get your interval back up, and nicely done here. We race straight back up. Here we go now. As I said, this is the last race on this game on F1 2021, so soak it in, people. Enjoy it, because it is the last race we'll ever see on this game. For us, we may come back one day, you know, as like kind of like a trip down memory lane season, as you will, if we're like many seasons in to our series. But if we make it that far, it would be great. If we don't, but who knows. But right now, no, did I miss it? Oh no, sorry, Carl's gone into pits, that's why. Carl has finally gone into pits, but I'm sure he'll definitely be looking for the overtake on Preston if he can get out in time, and if he can catch up, and I'm sure he'll definitely be going for it. But now, right this second, we have currently, if crossplay comes out, and if the maybes, like the guys that are not sure yet, do race. He's done it again. He's actually done it again. Last season, raced for second place. He was in it. He DNF'd. Harry has DNF'd once again at the same track, costing him the championship. That confirms it, people. I get to say this once again. That confirms it. Not for second place this time. And it's not Callum. It's in fact Harry for... it's in fact Carl for first place. Here is your Drivers' Champion, World Drivers' Champion of Season 2. That is Carl. Wow. I cannot believe that. What actually happened? That is lap 29. We had 26 laps left to go. And Harry has DNF'd here, costing him every single chance he had at first. Again, last season he DNF'd and lost his chance at second place. He's now DNF'd and lost his chance at first place. What is going on here? Here's typing. He's said congrats, Carl. He's not being annoyed about it, that's for sure, so good on him to not be annoyed about it. But wow, that is major. Not once but twice has he DNF'd and costed himself a position at Abu Dhabi. What is going on here? I do not know, but wow, this is utterly major. Well, at least he's won the constructors. I mean, that's something. Actually, no, we won't change it. We won't change it yet, because I was about to say, of course, in our new Discord server, because right now it's new. When this video is released, it won't be new, of course. But when it's once it's new, we have two roles. We have a Constructors Championship role, we have a World Drivers Championship role, and World Drivers Champion and Constructors Champion role. And I give that to, of course, whoever wins the two championships. And I was about to change it, but I'm like, no, I'm going to hold off until this video is released, because I don't want no spoilers for whoever's won the last race. So we're going to save the history books, and we're going to save the roles until this video is released, because we should really. But now Carl may be going for an overtake on Preston here. He is seriously gaining on Preston. If he can just see for this overtake, potentially might get the DRS on the straight coming up. I'm sure he will, in fact. With that 0.3 second gap, now 5 second penalty for Giovinazzi for ignoring the yellow flag. Very unlucky for Giovinazzi. But now Carl trying to get the overtake on that bed, but he couldn't. Now going after Preston, using Matt DRS, using his but basically what is left of his Eros goes on the inside of Preston and gets the overtake. Nice, easy done, but Preston may be fighting back here. But Preston cannot get on the inside because Carl does, and Preston sadly does lose out on that P1 position, and it's back to being Cole for that P1 position. Nicely done by Carl to get that P1 position, I must say for sure. But yes, here we go now. With Carl racing up. I mean, this is his championship. Whether he DNFs, whether he gets low points, or whether he wins, it's his championship now. Like I was saying last season, and Callum was in second place last season because Harry DNF'd, and now because Harry is DNF'd, Carl has that win. Carl has that championship. Absolute congratulations to Carl on his amazing drive this season. Not only for the Drivers' Championship, but of course for the Constructors' Championship this season. He sets the fastest time of the fastest lap of the race with a 1:14. What was that? 1:40.435. Nicely done by Carl, I must say. I just genuinely can't believe Harry has basically bottled first place again due to DNFing. Like, what? I cannot believe this. Who knows? Can Harry come back next season and fight even harder and not DNF in Abu Dhabi? That's going to be a question. I mean, yeah, I think he is competing next season. I think he is. I think he's one of the guys who's staying for next season. And that's what I was discussing before Harry DNF'd, of course. Who's in for next season? I won't give you names, but I'll give you the number of people. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 8 drivers next season, and potentially more to come if I can find more people, because as I said, this video is getting done in July 10th, just for all of you wondering. So yeah, it's quite far back, so I've still got time to find a lot of drivers, and of course it all hinges on crossplay coming out, but hopefully by the time this video is released, crossplay will finally be out, but who knows for sure. But as we enter lap 33 here, Evan is still in that P7 position. Nice work by Evan to stay in that P7 position, not being able to get that overtake on Lewis Hamilton, but not being overtaken by Esteban Ocon either, and he survived this whole race. It is well done to Evan, I must say. We have 22 laps left of a race to go here, so we are closing down on the last few laps now. I know we've still got quite a few laps left to go, but from 55 laps we are getting down. That is for utter sure. But I wouldn't be surprised. My throat doesn't hurt as much anymore, which is quite surprising. But here we go now with Carl still up in front. This is currently what's looking to be your podium. You have Carl in P1, Preston in P2, and Callum P3. The first time the Ferraris will be on the podium together in a while. I believe since Silverstone. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, Silverstone. And of course, if you know for sure, being July 10th, it is, of course, the release of a Silverstone video today. So, you know, that's how I know that it was the last one for the Ferraris got on. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I should know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went, to be fair. But Carl now up in that P1 position, 4.7 second gap, still holding out that charge, I will say. But maybe just to add how it's been sunshine the whole race. I think Harry edited it so it was sunshine the whole race, so it's a different type of value for you lot today, that's for sure. But that's not too bad in the night time, to be fair. But yeah, who knows what can happen here today. But I mean, this is the annoying bit. Yes, we're seeing like 2 DNFs so far, but we're not seeing any overtakes. And overtakes, as I said before, is what grabs our attention. It's what keeps us involved within this race. So the fact that we're not seeing any overtakes is very, very disappointing for sure. But potentially see some coming up. Who knows? I mean, Preston is losing time on Carl, so he probably won't be catching up unless there's a safety car. Very unfortunately, with not 11 laps. 21 laps left to go. Sorry, correction. Had to make sure for definite there. But there's Callum. Nice to come around the corner there. Just taking a nice, easy Sunday drive. You know, 14-second gap. He don't care. He's on the podium. But he ain't be impressing here for a race for third place. That is for sure. Very unfortunately. Yeah, who knows for sure here today. Here we go now. Round it goes. Nicely done. That is for sure. Here we go now. Whoa, I mean, Evan is now pitting. I thought it was just due to crash, but yes, Evan has now pitted. Coming out of the pits, nice to P16. In fact, now potentially dropping down to a certain P17 due to the house, potentially so. And it is looking like it, doesn't it? It really does look like it today. Who knows for sure. It is weird how the two Hasses are the bottom. Then you got an Alpha, then you got... It is on equal performance, yeah it is. It just made me question for a minute. But of course, come F122, those Hasses are going to be up there, even with equal performance on. I'll tell you, the Hasses are definitely going to be up there. I mean, Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen, really so far, it's the Austria Grand Prix today, so we'll see what they do today. I mean, obviously, it's going to be way past that when this video is released, but for us, we'll see what happens today. But they are doing really well so far. I might be jinxing it. They might do really awful come the future, but so far they're doing brilliantly, so who knows what to do today. But Evan now using that DRS, potentially catching up to Mick Schumacher. Could we see Evan get an overtake here on Mick Schumacher? It would be great to see for sure, and Evan might be going for it, using his ERs, using his DRS when he gets it, of course, trying his best to catch up here. Can he do so? And it does look like it, and Yuki Tsunoda now pitting, so everyone will be pitting, I'm sure. Now, I mean, I'm pretty sure Ferrari still have to pit. Why have I still had the spectator menu up this whole time? I don't know. But what are the tyres looking like? Yeah, 90 lap old laps, 19 lap old mediums to present, and 20 lap old mediums for Callum. But now, Evan has just got past Mick Schumacher. Nice work for Evan to get that overtake. First overtake we've seen by Evan today, for the whole of his race career. Can he be in season 3? Can we see him improve? It would be a great time to see him in season 3. For sure, Pundit Evan coming in to race for season 3 would be absolutely brilliant. And that's actually who he is. I'm sure you guys have figured it out already, but he is the pundit from last race? It may have been Singapore actually. No, actually, it might have been Brazil actually. But yes, he was up there. He made like one comment, I think it was, but yes, he was the pundit last race. So can he potentially join our roster of drivers and be up there? Who knows for sure. We'd be very interested to see if saw. But can ever get another overtake? We'll check back with him in a minute. But now Carl may be looking to blue flag a certain Nikita Mazepin. I like how before I was going to say, oh yeah, Evan's going to overtake Magnussen because that's what I thought I saw. But no, it's Nikita Mazepin. The last time you'll ever see him in our F1 league. So take it in, breathe it in, people. Breathe in the gloriness of Mazepin. Because you're not going to want to miss it, people. That is for sure. You're really going to miss him. I'd like how I'm saying it, you're not going to want to miss it. You're really going to miss him. People, trust me, the spin outs and the crashes of him, it's the excitement of Mazepin, you are going to miss him. But as we enter lap 37, here we go now. Fastest lap of the race with 140.277. Nice one by Carl, still improving. Fastest laps, even though he is quite ahead and is not under threat. So nice work by Carl, I must say. Yes, lap 37. So we do have approximately about 12 laps left to go. if my no 13 laps left to go, so we are nearing down on it ever so closely. Yes, we are getting ever so close to the final lap of a race in this sunny, in this one-time sunny Abu Dhabi. You won't want to miss it, trust me. You know it's going to be a special race if it's in the sunshine, that's for sure. But like I'm saying that when you're halfway through this video, if you made it this far already, so congrats if you have, I guess, listening to my boring self this entire time. Who knows, that is for sure. But away we go now, round this corner very nicely for Carl. Evan's still down in P15. I think Antonio Giovinazzi did pit, and that's why Evan is now ahead of him. But he has a bunch of drivers ahead of him. We're actually going to stick on Evan because we do need to see some overtakes this race. We haven't seen many, that's for sure. And it's not going to be good for the highlights. What is Evan doing? He went on me inside of that corner. He went over the curb inside of that corner. I do not know what Evan was thinking here, but due to that, Mick Schumacher's taking advantage. Go ahead, but Evan says, no you don't, and has taken back that position. Nicely done by Evan to take that position back. He's trying to keep it now, but there's Carl, of course, blue. Don't ignore the blue flag. He hasn't. What has Evan done? Has he just gone into Schumacher? Schumacher tried to get ahead of him and just hasn't worked or something. I don't know, but now Mick Schumacher ahead of him once again. Now Evan's going to have to try and get ahead of Mick Schumacher. I'm sure he does. But virtual safety car here. He cannot get ahead of him right now because of that. Wow. Will it be a full safety car? I don't think it was, because it wasn't a crash on track. It was more of a crash offside. So it's going to remain a virtual safety car, I do believe here. But yes, car was now going to have to go slow. That doesn't mean that Prix can unfortunately catch up though. I mean, he can try a bit, but it's not a full safety car, so I don't think he actually can catch up. And I believe this virtual safety car will be going in at any minute now. We are on lap 38, so we have 12 laps left to go of this race. We're about to enter the single digits of laps left to go, so do not fear, people. We're about to end this. We're about to come up on the ending of the video. I know it's about over 2 hours long, but it's well worth the watch. Trust me. But yes, here we go now. Virtual safety car, hopefully going in at any minute now if it truly wants to, hopefully. So we want to get back under racing conditions in reverse again. Not many overtakes happening. We want to see potentially more overtakes happen if they can or not, who knows. But drive through penalty, spinning under the VSC. Oh, Evan, what are you doing, man? He's gonna have to pull off front drive through penalty. I'm pretty sure it's gonna completely waste all the positions he has made here today, but who knows for sure. We shall find out in a minute, I'm sure. Just 10-second time penalty for corner car for Evan, and he has DNF'd here. Very unfortunate race. That is 3 races for now DNF'd here. We have 3 left, and that is your top 3 currently. Carl, Preston and Callum. So what a race we have, race has transpired here today. And I like how I said we had 12 laps left to go. As you know, we do have 12. We have 11 laps now, actually. No, we don't. We have 16. What am I trying to say? We have 16 laps left to go. I've been totally off the mark here for the last few laps. Yes, we have 16 laps left to go. That is for utter sure. But we are a bit away off the single digits. But yeah, laugh at me all you want for getting it wrong. All right, come on. But potentially so now. But I'm sure we'll be entering the lap 40 any second now, that's for sure, with Carl. He has a lot of guys he could blue flag here, and unfortunately it's not Evan this time round. He would have been on Evan right now, but he is not, unfortunately. Sets another fastest lap of race with 140.020. He is massively improving his fastest laps of a race here. He is not giving up for anything. He knows his championship is in his hands. hands, and he does not want to give up for anything, and he gets past Giovinazzi due to a blue flag, and now he's going to go blue flag. A certain Lance Stroll here. Will Lance Stroll just allow him past? And he does. Goes madly on the outside. Lance is going to have to go just wide. Can Cole get ahead? And that DRS seems to be coming into fruition. Yes, it does. Lance Stroll is going to have to go to the side, but he can't because of Lance also has DRS here, boosting him a lot. Maybe he should activate his DRS, who knows. But gets ahead of Latifi as well due to a blue flag. Now going round, nicely done. And on to Kimi Räikkönen. Here we go now. Once we get past Kimi Räikkönen, he'll be on to the Williams or George Russell. But I believe that's actually Latifi, Gotifi himself, trying to make a challenge to Carl. Can Gotifi get past Carl and show what he truly made of if he wasn't in a Williams? Of course, definitely not going towards. But isn't it amazing for Gotifi? Latifi himself has shone today and not crash into wall. I mean, it's brilliant, ain't it? That is for sure. But here we go now. Trying his utter best. There we go. Gets past George Russell. Gets past Esteban Ocon. Now sees Pierre Gasly. He's just going up the entire grid. Gets past the average of Pierre Gasly due to a blue flag. And now onto the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas. Contact Valtteri. Tell him to let Lewis past. That's the only time you heard Toto say his name. And now he is past. Carl is now past Valtteri Bottas. Nice work. Potentially going after Lewis Hamilton, the other Mercedes. It's a miss. Weird to see. The last time you ever see this, Hamilton above Bottas when they're both in the same team. I know it's weird, isn't it? It's like not like we saw that past the entire 7 years that Valtteri was with Lewis. Nah, not at all. But who knows? Yes, here we go now. Lap 41. We have 14 laps left to go. Now we're closing in on the single digits. We've got 4 more laps left to go before we reach those single digits laps. So stick around, people. Do not leave yet, because it's just getting exciting, hopefully, anyway. But here we go now with Preston and Callum still quite far behind, I might say. Callum is not really within challenging distance of Preston whatsoever, and same for Preston to Carl. And Carl's just chilling, going for a Sunday drive, what's him the fastest lap of the races, proving what he can do whilst winning the championship. I mean, why wouldn't you, you know? That is for sure. But here we go now, people. Yes. Here we go now with Carl entering onto lap 42, in fact. And it's definitely getting very, very interesting. That is for sure. But there's not much I can say. I mean, I can say, oh yeah, great work by Carl to, you know, be up there. But the fact is, there's no one challenging Carl. Apart from earlier when we just overtook Harry. I mean, no one has fully challenged him today. He's just come in, got above a few people, raced, boom, done what he needs to do, and won the championship. I mean, it's just how it is, isn't it? I mean, you know, why wouldn't you? But who knows what to do today. He's going after Vettel and Lewis Hamilton here. He's got to blue flag for both of them. And will he be able to blue flag for both of them? I think he will, because rules are rules. And Vettel is going to have to step to one side to allow the Red Bull of Carl ahead. So is Hamilton. First time Hamilton's pretty much ever been blue flagged, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I think he was blue flagged in Imola, wasn't he? In the 2022, in this current season, the 22 season, in real life F1, I mean, not in our season, in real life F1. So, yeah, I think that's the last time that Lewis has ever truly been blue flagged. But of course, he's just got blue flagged here. So, unfortunately, there is no beating the clock hit for him today, that's for sure. But now, Carl going into pits to potentially get on the last few laps of softs here to finish this lap in style. A lot of the guys are unlapping themselves here, so he's going to have a lot of work to do to lap them all again. Lap 43 now. We are closing in. We are on the 12th lap left to go here. So we are closing in on it ever so quickly. If Carl can just keep going, then and not DNF. I mean, even if he does DNF, this championship is his. But it'd be nice to do exactly what Preston did last season and end his championship season with a win. If Carl could do that or not, who knows for sure. But here we go now. Carl, nicely going around the bends. Here we go for sure. Nicely done, nicely done. But here we go, pummeling down the straight on the new mediums, of course, because probably the only tyres got left. But thought he may as well just take the new tyres, you know, and just enjoy them whilst they last, you know. But there's Preston on his new softs. Callum, I think, still on old mediums. Yeah, 20 lap old mediums. What is Callum doing? He's not pitting. I mean, Yuki's not, again, not any threat to Callum, of course, but still, you'd want to pit, wouldn't you, surely? It make more sense to, but who knows for sure. We're on lap 43 out 55 here. So we're still going strong, and no major silences in this video like we had in Abu Dhabi 20 in the first season. Of course, in, you know, qualified we had the brakes in the silences, but that was it. I mean, in race we've had no long silences, so we can't even cut out due to something potentially happening interesting. But who knows? We're about to enter on to the 44th lap. Here we go. 11 laps left to go of this Abu Dhabi race, so we are closing in on the last 2 laps. Here we go. I'm actually running out of things to say, not gonna lie. But here we go. Wonder what's gonna be said here. I can't wait to see what the guys have to say, to be fair, at the end of this. But here, whoa, fastest lap of race done by Press with 138.706. Sorry. Imagine the scenes. You've got 11 laps left to go. Preston on new softs, yeah, new softs, that could survive 12 laps because they're already 1 lap old. Imagine the scenes. I mean, and we know that Carl has got away from Preston on new mediums before, on old well, not new, older mediums than they are now, but imagine the scenes. I don't think it's going to happen because, again, Silverstone it's happened, so the video getting released today, obviously, but who knows for sure what's going to happen, whether Preston can truly catch up or not. It would be great to see, but again, I doubt any of that will happen. Callum's just still taking a nice Sunday stride, because why the heck not? That is for sure. But Carl now about to enter the last 10 laps here. Here we go, the last 10 laps of the race. We've come a long way with this race. Carl sets the fastest lap of the race of 138.533, showing Preston that he will not catch up to him. And this is Carl's win for sure. And that Preston can take a back seat in P2 for once. Not like it's happened all season or nothing. But yes, for once, he can take that back seat and not win this race. But lap 45. Wow. What a season we've had, people. Let's just admire it for the last 10 laps, shall we? What a season we've actually had this season. I mean, constant 1-2s by Red. I get it's not every race, but most races, P1, P2s by Red Bull. And Preston winning, I believe, 1 race, maybe 2 races. Should we have a look back on the history books? Because I do have the history books. I mean, let's look back at Singapore for a minute. Carl and Preston. Preston would have had Carl for definite if Preston not crashed. Imagine the scenes. This would not be the race it is right now if Preston had caught up to Carl. Yes, I mean, Carl would have still won, but you know, only by a few more points the championship, so who knows. But we look at previous Grand Prix winners on the Discord. Join my Discord if you want to see all the previous Grand Prix winners. So we look at season 2, of course. Bahrain, Preston won, Jeddah, Harry won, Melbourne, Carl won. Callum won China. That was a really poor race. It didn't get uploaded because of footage. That was, I believe, his only win. No, actually, it wasn't. Sorry, correction. Spain, Carl won. Canada, Carl won. Silverstone, Carl won. Monaco, Harry won. French, Harry won. Belgium, we didn't have a winner for that because I believe an AI won that due to loads of DNFs. Yes, that was right. Everyone DNF'd. And it was a video for first video for me and Ritvik commentated. And potentially Ritvik might be returning as a commentator next season if he's not racing. Little spoiler there for you. It'd be great to have two of us back on commentary. That's for sure. Gives my voice a rest in most videos anyway. And then the second video for we both commentated. Netherlands, Carl won. Singapore, again Carl won, but only just marginally because Preston crashed. So that is major. And Brazil, of course, Callum's first official win of season 2. I say official. He won China, but let's be honest, that wasn't official really. Brazil, just because Harry, I can't remember when he spun out or something, or no, I believe Callum may have gone into Harry or something, and because of that, Callum got the win. So nice win. But if we look, should we look back on season 1 actually? So you have, of course, Bahrain, Callum, you have Harry winning Jeddah. So Harry's reducing his Jeddah streak, I tell you. Back Azerbaijan, a race that wasn't in this season. Preston, you have Canada, Callum, Silverstone, Preston, Austria, Preston, French, Grand Prix, Harry, Belgium, again, no winner, everyone DNF'd. And it came down to AI, so a little bit of a bot, a little bit of an AI win streak going on in Belgium, who knows. Monza, Preston, Russia, Preston, Japan, Ritvik, his first win. I mean, yes, his AI won, but it's still, we count it as his first win until he actually wins. Like, come on, you gotta be nice to him. Brazil, Jamie won. Monaco, Range Fest by Harry, if you remember. He went into Giovinazzi and just DNF'd completely. And forgot to learn how to brake around a corner. So no one won that. And I believe it was Yuki Tsunoda or Pierre Gasly. He was one of the avatars that won that. And then Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, of course, your championship winner of season 1. Preston won Abu Dhabi last season, and now we're here at Abu Dhabi for season 2. So what a road it has been over the past 2 seasons. We're on lap 47 here, and we are really chomping down the laps here. We have what 7 laps left to go of this race. So yeah, it's slowly going down, that is for sure. Yes, this has definitely been a lot of fun for sure. But to see this season close up and go into season 3, of course, for when this video is uploaded, hopefully next week we'll be either stepping into season 3 straight like that, or you'll be seeing the trailer. Of course, you'll also be seeing my driver and track updates video for that week, or for next week, if there is a trailer or not. Who knows? We'll have to see if we are lucky enough to get a trailer or not. Who knows? Yes, we are still on the final lap. No one is going for any overtakes, that's for sure. We have 3 DNFs this race. You have more than last race, of course, because last race it was Ritvik and Harry for DNF. Yeah, Ritvik and Harry who DNF. This time we have Evan, Harry, and Jamie who's DNF due to Ritvik not being here. Evan stepped in and, of course, has unfortunately DNF'd. So the surviving 3, of course, are Preston, Callum, and Carl. Not in your podium order, because, of course, I did Preston first and not Callum first, you know. You get what I mean. Yeah, lap 48 here. So we have 6 laps left to go. Sorry, just had to recalibrate my mind there. Don't worry, I'm not an AI. Don't worry. I had to re-evaluate my maths there. and recalculate, shall I say. I'm trying to find the reword there. But yes, we're about to step on to the 49th lap. We're about to close in on the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the end of the F1 2021 Abu Dhabi track. So it's about to get real interesting here as we step on to F1 22, people. And do not waste any time. Do not waste anything, because we are going to get straight into this. F1 2022. F1 22 Season 3. So don't miss it, people, because it's about to get real interesting, that is for sure. But lap 49 now. We have 6 laps left to go of this race still. I swear we had 6 laps. No, we had... No, sorry, confusion. We had... Yeah. But yeah, we have 6 laps left to go now. We're closing in on this end of the race now. So we're getting ever so closer and closer now. But yeah, it's definitely going to be getting very more interesting. That is for sure. I bet Carl will enjoy his celebrations tonight of being the World Drivers' Champion. I mean, Harry again being at Red Bull. I mean, yes, he lost the Drivers' Championship, but he still won the Constructors' Championship. That is still a step up from last season. I mean, yes, last season he DNF'd, but he was losing out on 2nd place and no Constructors' Championship. This time, he DNF'd, but he's losing out on 1st place, and that is arguably worse. But he got that Constructors' Championship, so there's still some good in there for this season for Harry. You could always say, but as we approach the 50th lap of the race, these last 2 laps are really going slow, aren't they? That is really for sure. But hopefully the last 2 laps won't go too slowly at all, because I'm running out of things to say here on commentary with no overtakes happening, no nothing, because 40-second gap between Carl and Preston. You have a 18-second gap between Preston and Callum now. So major gaps between the lot of them. And I really thought it was going to be a hard-fought battle today in Abu, being a 55-lap race. I really thought strategy was going to come to it, and something weird was going to happen, but surprisingly not today, unfortunately. But maybe another time, who knows for sure. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see what happens in Season 3 with the new drivers. See what they're made of. See what they can do. Because you never know. Hopefully one day, come another season, we'll be maxing out the grid. Imagine the 6 we got here, plus the new guys joining. That's at least 10, maybe to 12 drivers. So you're filling out a lot of the grid there. Over half, potentially, maybe in our future season. But for Season 3, right now we have 7 drivers. Potentially more, if I could gather some more up, if crossplay comes out. But who knows? We're on lap 50 now. We're about to close in on lap 51 of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the final race of Season 2, of course. We have 5 laps left to go. We're about to close in on 4 laps left to go. So any minute now, that is for sure. So yeah, it's about to get very interesting, that is for sure. If we can just close in on, yes, here we go now, 51st lap. Here we go, and we're slowly closing in on it very quickly. But it's definitely about to get very interesting. Again, I'm saying the same stuff over and over again because I'm running out of stuff to say. This is why it's great having that commentary partner, especially like Ritvik. You know, he knows what to say, and hopefully you'll see that partnership in commentary in Season 3. If all goes to plan. If not, he's driving, and that's good as well. If not, he's not taking part either way. But he said if he's not driving, he'll be commentary. So yeah, you'll be seeing a commentary partner hopefully next season if we are still lucky enough to see one. That is for sure. But who knows? Who knows for definite? But on lap 51 here, and my Xbox, I've been so inactive, my Xbox is actually starting to turn off. Yellow flag in sector 3 here, yellow flag in sector 1 now. Is that Callum? No, that's not Callum. That's Preston. What was going on with Preston, man? I do not know. He had a yellow flag for some reason, though. Who knows why? But potentially we'll be finding out very, very soon. Please don't start hiccuping and stuff at the end of the video. It would be great. Thank you very much. I would kindly appreciate that. But yes, lap 51 still. We're about to enter on lap 52. Preston is going for a blue flag overtake on Lance Stroll. And yes, we are getting excited about this because we haven't seen many overtakes today. Surprisingly, you'd think for a 55 lap race we would see overtakes. But we haven't really at all, have we? But I'm sure Evan had a lot, I just didn't notice. But here we go now with Preston charging up on his 51st. That was Carl is on his 52nd lap with 3 laps left to go. He is closing in on that World Drivers' Championship. Or claiming that World Drivers' Championship title. And trust me, it is coming very, very soon. And that is for sure. But who knows whether that will happen or not. All the drivers have group chats. Like, all the teams have group chats. You have your Ferrari, your Red Bull, and your McLaren group chats. And now, what I'm actually going to do is, once this is over, I'm going to change the Red Bull name to Constructors Champion. And because the Ferrari lot, I named it Ferrari group chat, but they changed it to Constructors Champions. So I'm going to rename it to Previous Constructors Champions and just see what they say, whether they get a bit annoyed or not. Who knows for sure, but hopefully not anyway. But yeah, 52nd lap, we're about to close in on the 53rd lap left to go. We'll have 2 laps left to go of this race, and yes, we are closing in on it ever so quickly. And here we go, 53rd lap of the race. Here we are now, and let's see what can happen on the 53rd lap. Probably nothing, just like nothing happened on the other one. That's for sure. But who knows for sure what will happen. But now, due to blue flag rules, Carl has got past the AlphaTauri of, I'm guessing, yes, that is one Pierre Gasly. So nice work there. I'm just making sure that is. Don't tell me that. No way was that actually. That was Yuki Tsunoda, not Pierre Gasly. Hold up, let me just see this gap. Leader. Oh my god, Carl's actually lapped everyone except Callum and Preston. Will he lap Callum and Preston here? I mean, it's not out of a question, but he's still got a lot of work to pull out of the bag to be able to do that. So who knows for sure here. But Tsunoda maybe looking to get unlapped here if he can. Who knows? Who knows for sure? That is the interesting question. But yes, here we are now with Carl trying to carefully go around those corners, not slip out of the last 2 laps. Of course, he does not want to lose this on the last few laps, and who knows? I mean, it's just going to be a very, very interesting one for sure. That is definite. But here we go now. Lap 54. We have this lap and we have the next lap. So we have 1 lap left to go after this, and then season 2, and it is all over. F1 2021, it is all over, people. That is it. There is no going back anymore. And it's definitely going to be a very interesting time, that's for sure. But Carl trying his utter best to get on to the last lap and see if he can or not. And Preston is still quite far behind Carl, but he's just enjoying it, to be fair. He's just enjoying the drive. He's enjoying it completely, to be fair. So who knows for sure here. But now there's Callum as well trying his utter best to do it as well. and try and hold it out together. Potentially see a podium of 1 Red Bull, 2 Ferraris, if the 2 Ferraris or 1 Red Bull don't muck it up now. Which hopefully they don't, because it'd be pretty annoying to see, that's for sure. But may I just add, whilst Carl's about to get onto his 54th lap, no, 55th lap, Callum has only just got to his 54th, so we still got a bit to go with Callum once Carl completes his last lap, of course. But yes, Carl is about to get on to his 55th lap, the last lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the last lap of F1 2021, the last lap of these cars, and until we get onto the new cars. And here we go, the last lap of the season. This is it, people. This is what it all comes down to. Can Carl get the home run just on this last lap? Not step out, not crash, not DNF or anything, just survive this last lap. Can he truly do that? I believe he can, but he'll have to pull out this out of the bag, that's for sure. And then we're coming round the hairpin, nicely done there, and round the hairpin quite nicely, and on to the main straight now, down the main straight, pulling it down, using the bare bones of the ERS he has left just to enjoy the ride whilst he can. Now, about to come up to the chicane. Here we go, round the chicane, and through we come round the last bit of the chicane, nicely onto the straight once again. No DRS, of course, because he's not behind anybody, but he has got that ERS to make sure to get ahead. Will he blue flag anybody on his last lap? Who knows? But he's going round the chicane now, nicely done round the chicane. There we go, round the corner. There we go, not losing too much, not going over that curb too much. And now round those bends, nicely done, nicely, absolutely nicely done, and round that bend as well, nicely done. And yes, I will keep saying nicely done, alright. Round the corner, not too fast, not too losing too much speed. Of course, he won't care about speed because he's 1 minute ahead of Preston, so he's no longer under threat. Round the final corner, and here is your winner of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and your new World Drivers Champion of Season 2, people. He's giving us a little, what is he doing? Well, that's a way to finish off. Just crash into Sonoda, why don't you? 5-second penalty, time penalty. Well, that's a lot of penalties because that won't matter. But here is your winner of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and your new World Drivers Champion for the first time ever. And of course, World Drivers Champion of Season 2, and not just that, but your Constructors Champion, along with his Drivers Championship contender Harry. Of course, for Constructors Champions Red Bull. Well done to Carl. Absolutely great, magnificent job. Well done. Congratulations. Well done throughout the season to Cole, I must say. And will he be back in Season 3 to compete for a second World Drivers' Championship? Well, you all have to stick around for the interview coming along. But well done to your new champion, as Preston, the previous champion, crosses the line in P2, and as the previous Constructors Champion alongside Preston in the Williams crosses line in Ferrari. Callum, and that is the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix of Season 2. Thank you all for joining us here today to crown your new World Drivers Champion and Constructors Champion. Driver Day once again goes to Sebastian Vettel. I won't argue that anymore. And here is your podium for the final time on F1 2021 of Season 2. You have Callum in P3. Preston in P2, so you have your Ferrari P3, P2 for the first time in a while since Silverstone, and your new World Drivers Champion and one half of your Constructors Champions, Carl, finishing off in P1. Well done to everyone for a race today. And here is your final leaderboard of Season 2 and F1 2021. Your new Drivers Champion and Constructors, I know I keep saying, but still, new Drivers Champion of Season 2. you have Carl in P1. Your previous Drivers' Champions Season 1 and Constructors Champions, you have Preston in P2 and Callum in P3. Then unfortunately, due to DNFs, you have Jamie, Harry and Evan DNFing, and Rithik unfortunately couldn't make it. But thank you all for joining us for not only this race, but the whole season. What a great season this has been. And we will be back very soon with Season 3 of the D-Snakes F1 Championship. See you then, people. I hope you enjoyed. See you then.